Hey, how's it going everyone? MLT Magic Tricks here. So in this video, I'm going to be giving you a performance and a tutorial for this really clever card trick that I definitely think you should add to your routine. But before we get into it, if you are new here to the channel, make sure you subscribe for more card trick videos just like this. Drop a like on this one, and now let's get right into the performance. Alright, so I would start off this trick with my spectator giving the deck a shuffle. Once they are done, I would tell them that they are going to be making a selection for this trick. So my spectator could call stop anywhere as I dribble off cards from the deck here. So let's say they call stop right here. I would just show them the card. Once my spectator has remembered their selection, I would first explain to them that we are going to get their card lost somewhere into the middle of the deck. So we'll give the pack some cuts. I will give the deck a quick riffle shuffle, and just for good measure to really lose their card into the pack, we will give the deck some overhand shuffles as well. At this point, with the spectator's card lost in the deck, we're actually going to use the card box here. We're going to place the deck inside of the box, and now I would tell my spectator to think about where they think their card is in the deck, because they are going to be dealing off cards from the deck, and they're going to stop wherever they think their card is. So we're going to go ahead and do this. I'm just going to outjog the deck a little bit from the box here, and my spectator would now go ahead and perform this part of the trick. They can take off cards from the deck here. They can take off one at a time. They can take off a couple like this. It's up to them. I would just instruct them to call stop wherever they think their selection is. So let's say the spectator decides to stop dealing cards right here. I would tell them we're first going to take a look at the cards that they just dealt from the deck here, because we want to make sure that they did not accidentally, deal their selection, because if they dealt their card, the trick would not work, So we're going to see if any of these cards is my spectator's. They would just go through one at a time, take a quick look. I would assume my spectator did not see their card here. So now they're going to go back to the card box. My spectator can do this. They would open the box. They would take out the deck and place the card where they stopped right on the table here. And before we take a look at that card, we're going to look at the rest of the deck. As you can see, no more cards are in the box or anything like that. We're going to spread these face up. I would tell my spectator to take a quick peek at all these cards to see if any of these is their selection. Once they are done glancing through the cards, I believe my spectator does not see their card as any one of these face up ones. So it looks like out of the entire deck, my spectator actually called stop right where their card is, the 4 of diamonds. So guys, that is the trick. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to learn how to perform it, make sure you watch the tutorial. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed that performance. This is a really great trick that I definitely think you should learn, so grab your deck of cards and let's get right into the tutorial. So there is a very small setup that you're going to need to do with the card box, not the deck of cards. There's no setup to the deck, but with the card box, you're going to want to see if you can find the sticker that goes with the card box. This will be ideal if you have a new deck of cards lying around somewhere, because that sticker is going to go directly over the top on Bicycle and Theory 11 decks. You're going to carefully peel back the sticker, and then you're just going to open the box and place the sticker directly over the little indent that is in the deck of cards there. You're going to want to cover up the little indent here with that sticker. Now, if you absolutely cannot find the sticker that goes with the card box, that is okay. You still will be able to perform this trick, but there's a little subtlety that you're going to need to keep aware of in the performance. I'll explain that later in the tutorial, but once you have covered the little indent with the sticker, you're going to need some double-sided tape, because you're going to peel off a small little strip of that and place it directly inside of the box, starting at the end of the sticker. So you can see, I don't know if you can really see the double-sided tape on camera here, but I have it started kind of at the end of the sticker, just going down the back of the card box on the inside here. And then you're going to want to dab it a little bit with your finger to make it a little bit less sticky. That will make your performance easier. So once you have got the little setup with the card box, the same thing goes if you are using a box that doesn't have the sticker. You're still going to place that little strip of double-sided tape starting at the bottom of the indent going down the card box there. And once you have done that, you're good to go. It's a very simple setup. Just, try and find the sticker. It will help you out in the performance, but it's, like I said, guys, not necessary. I'll explain the subtle difference later in the tutorial. So once you've got your box set up, you can go up to your spectator, have them shuffle the deck as much as they like, and then they are going to choose a card. You're just going to have them look at it, and then you're going to need to control that card to the top of the deck. I'll leave a link on the screen right now to me teaching some card controls, but I'll just briefly talk about the one I did in the performance. Spectator call stop anywhere. You just show them the card. We'll take a look at it together for the tutorial. We have the 5 of diamonds. Then with the rest of the deck, you're going to start dribbling the cards from the bottom up to the top. Then you're going to lift up with your thumb here on all these cards. You have a little separation point separating their card in the deck from the rest of the cards that are above it. You transfer this over to a pinky break, and then you just cut all these cards from the break right onto the table. And now you've just controlled their card to the top of the deck. You guys can do any card control you want to get their selection to the very top. Keep their card on top, do a riffle shuffle like that, maintaining the selection there. You can also do some overhand shuffles, applying pressure with your 4 fingers on their selection, retaining their card on top of the deck. At this point, once you have made it seem like their card is lost, but in reality you have control of it, you are going to introduce the card box. So you're going to open up the box, you're going to insert the deck of cards face down and make sure the deck of cards that are being face down are lining up where you have your double-sided tape placed. So you're going to want to kind of open it like this, place the cards in, because you are essentially going to get their card, which is on top of the deck, to stick to the inside of the box with the double-sided tape. So once you have placed the cards in, you're just going to be talking to your spectator here and applying pressure with your thumb downwards on the box, so that tape is now sticking to the cards, so it will separate it from the deck. Once you have done this, you're just kind of talking to your spectator and telling them, okay, you're going to be dealing off cards from the deck and guessing where you think your selection is. Now you're going to tilt down on the box to release the cards here from the deck, and now you're just going to outjog them about like half an inch or so, or an inch. Just make sure you outjog them a little bit, like halfway down. Now you're going to ask your spectator to start dealing off cards from the deck onto the table, and they can deal off one at a time. They can deal off multiple cards. It's up to them. You're just going to instruct them to basically stop dealing wherever they think their selection is. So they're dealing cards. You can see once they are done, they are going to stop dealing, and you will notice in the box, you can see this is what's going on. You can sort of see up top that 5 of diamonds is now stuck to the very top of the box because of that double-sided tape. So after they have stopped dealing wherever they like, you're going to casually place the rest of the deck in the box. Now this is probably the most important part of the trick. When you are closing up the card box here, you need to get this little flap directly above their selection, separating it now from the double-sided tape. So when I'm placing this flap in, I'm placing it directly above their selection here. So now it's bringing it down. I did it like that. It's kind of hard to see, but now you will see there's no card attached to that double-sided tape because I have got the flap directly on top of it. So now their card is separated from the top part of the box, and it's now with the rest of the deck. So obviously you're going to need to practice that. You're going to kind of not want to blatantly bring it up to your face like this and try and get it, but you're just going to want to play around with it. You're going to be putting this little flap directly above. You've separated the card now. You tell your spectator to take a look at all these just to double check and see if they dealt their card. They're obviously going to say no. Now this is really good. You can have your spectator open the box, take out the cards, and you're going to tell them to place the top one face down because that's where they think they stopped. They'll take out the rest of the deck here. You can ask them to spread out these cards, take a look to see if any of these is their selection. They will say no, and then you show them the card they stopped on was actually their selection, and it makes for a really great illusion there, and it will completely blow the mind of your spectators. But now, guys, really quickly, I want to talk about if you could not find your sticker for the card box. I wanted to just, bring your attention to how the deck will look a little bit differently here. So when you have controlled their card to the top, you got the 5 diamonds there on top, you place the cards in, you applying pressure, you're getting the card to stick, but you will see here subtly when you slide out the cards, if you have a very attentive spectator, they may notice that this line is now filled in. There is a little line here, but if you are performing this, guys, for a lay spectator who has really never, seen a deck of cards, or they're not familiar with one, you should get away with this. I wouldn't worry about it too bad, but if you're performing this for like a magician or something, they probably will keep an eye on that. So just to be sure to make sure your spectator does not call you out, literally just place your thumb right over it like that. When you're sliding out the cards like this, it's stuck now, you got your thumb directly on top of it, and then you can have your spectator go ahead and do this. But if you're doing it this way, I would recommend you hold on to the box this time and tell your spectator just to take out cards from the pack. They can take out as many as they want. Once again, wherever they stop, you square up the cards in the box. You got to do the same thing here now, where you get the little flap right above their card, so you're separating it from the top. It's a little tricky to do, but once you get it just like that, I've kind of slid it in directly on top of it. You got to kind of push it in and play around with it. That will take a little bit of practice. Do the same thing. They take a look at these. Oh, none of these are my card. Now you can literally have your spectator handle the box at this point. They take out the cards and place the one face down where they called stop like that. You can tell them to spread these out, see if any of these is their card. They'll say no, and they will think they stopped right where their card is. So guys, that's a trick. It's a very deceptive one. All you got to do is place your little double-sided tape inside the card box, practice it a little bit. Once again, guys, the trick will work a little bit better if you have your sticker that covers up the little indent. That's really only necessary if you're performing this for an attentive spectator or a magician. You shouldn't get called out on it if you're just performing it for a lay spectator. So that's all you got to do to perform this trick. It's really great. It will definitely fool your spectators. Thank you for watching. I will see you in my next video. Peace out.